Artist therapy offered us an opportunity to look differently at how we might interpret and talk about works of art in the collection. So it's very different than our traditional way of showing art, which is pretty straightforward, often chronologically, usually just a very art historically focused label. And so this project offered us the chance to look differently at the artworks and to draw on personal threads. So the reason I was interested in doing the research is because it was such a different way of approaching how we install and look at art in the galleries, that doing research will help us to understand a little bit more if it was successful and if it did what we thought it did.
I had a fabulous time at the Artist Therapy exhibit and participating in the research there. The guiding questions that I was asked were very much like the questions that I think I might have been asked by a therapist if I were sitting on a couch. So it was a very interesting way to engage with myself while actually being within an art gallery experience.
That's been really eye-opening, that people feel that comfortable in these spaces to divulge that information to a total stranger. And if it is, you know, I mean, to keep in mind that we are a museum, we are not a hospital, I think it's quite nice that we're providing a refreshing space that allows people to reflect, and however they choose to reflect is pretty amazing.
When you look at a piece of art that makes you feel something different, you start to think about why and like what it's changing inside of you, and what is it that is making you think a different way. I think it's good to have knowledge about what something is making you feel. I think like more knowledge that you have about that, it can help you interpret what you're viewing better and possibly make more sense of why you're looking at this, why you enjoy it, why you're even doing this action of like seeing something or hearing something. I think that ties into why I could like any art piece in general, because it is therapeutic in some way. So, yeah.
A couple aspects of the project, I guess, that did interest me from the outset. Yes, one of them absolutely is personalization and what that looks like, and something that both John and Alain were very keen on, and that is affect. I mean, we know that museums for 150 years have imagined visitors come into their facility as essentially empty vessels, and our job has always been to fill up those empty vessels with facts, useless facts and factoids. And I think we have a pretty clear sense that visitors don't retain those facts, but there's something else happening. And I think a project like Artist Therapy begins to question, you know, the possibilities of what can happen around the emotional engagement with works of art and the kinds of deep, and personal connections that people can make with art objects. I mean, isn't that what art should be about? It's just that museums have not exploited that rich kind of potential. I am always looking for ammunition in the inherent conflict that exists within art museums, and that is between our many different values. And what findings from art therapy will give me is a greater understanding of of the, I guess, the positive learning experiences that come about from an experiment like this. And I know that I can go into the next meeting on the next project knowing that visitors are looking for those connections, right? That they are looking for meaning, and that they have every need to personalize those objects.